Welcome back to the Oddity Shop podcast, the podcast where we
tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre stories from around the globe.
I'm your curator, Kara, with my wonderful sliding curator, Zachary.
If you don't know, go listen to the episode on sliding because it is happening bad tonight. So we are fighting through tech issues. How the hell are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
I like your little leopard print pants. Those are fun. Those are exciting. Those are new.
Thanks. I've been wearing them like crazy because they're high-waisted and elastic and I can't wear real pants.
I mean, I laugh at that, but I have not. I put on jeans yesterday, but I have been wearing either stretchy joggers or like
always
sweatpants shorts. I don't put on real pants anymore. It is honestly too restrictive.
Well, I don't really have anything else to share with you except for I'm enjoying the couch. And this is our first episode where you get to talk to me. So I just get to sit here. I have
You're
a
just
snack.
Relaxing.
I'm literally just going to snack.
Chilling all cool.
I got my blankie. Like, this is going to be so great.
Perfect. Just don't fall asleep on me. Okay.
Well, hopefully it's not boring.
It's not boring because it was a write-in suggestion, but okay, we'll keep it short.
Do we have any
because I don't have that much to say either. So before we get into it, are you ready for some shop talk?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Do you have any shop talk for me?
I do have shop talk, and I do have a
talk shop.
I have a new review for you.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right. It's a little stroke of our ego.
Oh,
I love listening on my drive to work and road trips. Kara and Zach are awesome at breaking down fun and complex stories, and I always feel like I learned something cool after every episode. Okay, here's my challenge. I love the nice and fun reviews. As long as you still give a 5-star, I want like a light roast in them.
Oh.
Make them fun, make them witty, make them sarcastic, and we will read them on the show. What do you have for us for Shop Talk today?
I don't know if I have anything.
Nothing?
I don't think so.
Are you working on a book for the Patreon book club?
A book? Do you know how many I read in February?
I see. I know you have something.
Guess how many books I've read in February?
17.
So technically right now as we speak, today is February 26th. I've read 12.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Thanks.
Okay, what's the top one? Which is the one going in Patreon that you're going to talk with everyone about?
So here's the thing that I'm doing for Patreon. I'm not necessarily recording a video, but I have compiled everything and I have it all in a planner. So I have each category. So obviously Zach has not gone and looked at January's, but that's fine. No. So I have everything in a, like, this is what I read this month. And then each book has its own page and a review on it and what I gave it 5 stars, what my favorite part was. So I'm doing that for every single book that I read.
You know what I look at in Patreon? The group chat where people can ask me for tarot readings. That's pretty empty.
Oh, so has anyone done that?
2. We have done 2. Okay.
Oh, have you done them?
I did one and the other one hasn't responded to me. Marielle, looking at you. Okay.
Who's the one you did?
Maybe I haven't done one.
I don't think you've done one.
I did one for a Patreon. It was outside with Sarah. I did one for her outside when we started doing. That's right.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Let's be done with this. Do you have a question? Let's open the shop.
Are you ready to open the shop? Yes, I do. Are there any superstitions that you live by?
Oh, well, I think when I was younger, yes. What is it when you go over a railroad track? You're supposed to lift your feet up.
Put your feet up. Yep.
Hold your breath when you go past a cemetery or a graveyard.
Okay. But like still today,
I will never whistle at night. And you know this, and you don't do it around me because I'm sorry, but it really, really upsets me. Do not whistle at night.
She will yell at you.
Zach used to like do it just mess with me. And then when he started realizing that like you really should not whistle at night, he's like, okay,
perfect.
Do not whistle at night around me. I will not actually talk to you anymore. Zach's an exception, but I will not talk to you anymore. If you're with me.
We might talk about that one a little bit.
Okay, let's go. Are we doing all superstitions?
We are doing some superstitions. Yes. All things we avoid to keep bad luck at bay or to bring in good luck, right? So like walking under ladders, opening umbrellas inside, avoiding black cats.
You're going to tell me where this all came from?
I'm going to tell you a little bit, yeah. So these are things, though, that it teaches you at a really young age to be careful, but I don't know why half of them. Like, why do we do these things?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of like all of the stories that we read that were like, don't date don't go out at night. Like they try to keep you like safe or like scare kids into not.
I
doing
love this too.
things.
I looked at Kara for a response and she's just got her mouth full of meat stick. Okay, I'm going to keep talking.
Chomps.
All right. So I do want to say, I know you're recovering still. So this isn't like a super in-depth episode. It's fun. It's short, but we're going to dig into some. And we have to give a shout out to Joe Klauza from Mystic Moons for suggesting this episode and featuring all of our, like, we should just put Oddity Shop sponsored by Mystic Moons at this point. Honestly. They're running ads. They're writing in stories. They're giving us ideas. Get on their level. Okay. So starting off with the definition. So a superstition is an irrational, widely held belief or practice, not based in reason, knowledge, or science, often stemming from fear of the unknown, ignorance, or a desire to influence luck.
Wait, I love all of that.
I know, because it makes you feel stupid for following them.
Yes.
It involves attributing magical or ominous significance to significance, objects, or actions. So obviously we know like the common ones, black cats, don't walk under ladders, knocking on wood, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah, if you break a mirror.
Exactly. So the origin of this, it's Latin, superstitio, which means dread of the supernatural.
Wait, really?
Yes. Because you're like trying to like avoid. Okay. They're not just random, though. Some come from religion. Some come from like plague era. Some are stemmed from real founded fear. And many times it was survival techniques that merge into folklore. Some of them we've mentioned before, like knocking on wood. We're not going to talk about that one. We did in episode 102. Go back, listen. Okay. We have a whole lot of backlog for you guys. But we're going to go through some popular ones and then some like half of this is popular. Half of this is like more strange or weird ones.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
With constant construction in cities, home improvement projects, this is one of the most common ones. We've already mentioned it twice, but it's bad luck to walk under a ladder. Would you agree?
Yes.
Do you know why?
I mean, I assume it could fall on you, but here's the thing. Can you ever actually walk under a ladder unless you're a child?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Unless it's like a leaning ladder. But I'm thinking an A-frame ladder, you can't really walk under that.
Yeah, you can. A big enough one for sure. Like a 12-foot ladder, A-frame.
Okay. I want to say that I actually have heard of something about this, but I can't remember it.
Well, one, it's just completely unsafe because you never know what's being hoisted up or who's going up or down. So like you don't want to be under an unstable ladder. But through a religious lens, it's seen as unlucky because triangles could represent the Holy Trinity, and an open ladder makes a triangle. So, you know, you have Father, Son, Holy Spirit in the Trinity. Now, some religious folks say that if you do walk under it, it's seen as breaking the Trinity.
Oh.
And your sins will no longer be forgiven.
Oh.
Yikes.
Interesting. That makes sense, though.
Right? I think that one feels to me like a stretch, but I think like I could see.
But logically, I can understand it.
Right. I could see where that one would be like, maybe not take it seriously so much, but like see where religious people run with it. Okay.
Yeah, I can visualize it.
Another one comes from the medieval era. So ladders were often used at the gallows, and it was believed that if you walked under the ladder, the ghosts of those executed by hanging would possess that triangular area, making it a haunted space to enter.
Huh.
Also, the ladders were used in the gallows not only to hold up the bodies, but to retrieve the corpses. So there is the real risk of walking under a ladder, of having a corpse or a body fall on you.
Yeah, that would be not ideal.
And then in some traditions, criminals were actually forced to walk under the ladder before they're hanging.
Oh.
So it's almost like dooming yourself to be hung.
Why were they forced to do that?
I don't know. I couldn't find much more on that.
Interesting. I'm sure it's just because it's bad luck or whatever.
To talk on your favorite people and ours as well, our favorite people, the Egyptians, they had a very different belief, but pyramids and triangle shapes were powerful forces.
True.
And that if you stood under one, a ladder, in that sacred triangular space, a god may climb down the ladder and smite you.
Makes total sense to me. I believe that one.
Sense. Okay. So fear not, though, Kara. If you have walked under a ladder, you might be wondering, can I reverse the bad luck? And you would be right. You can. So
Okay.
if you make a wish while walking under it in that haunted space, it may be powerful enough to subdue the forces of evil spirits.
Interesting.
If you do and then you walk backwards through it, the Holy Ghost will go back to forgiving your sins.
Okay.
Or, and I found this in the Encyclopedia of Superstitions, you can just cross your fingers afterwards until you see a dog, and then the bad luck is reversed.
Like any dog?
Any dog. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so like if I'm just walking down the street, I walk under a ladder, across my fingers, and I could walk 10 miles before I see a dog.
Just
but when I
do
see
not
that dog,
uncross them.
I can uncross. Okay.
Absolutely. And then the last thing you can do, and I remember hearing this one as a kid, you can spit on your shoe, but you can't look at the shoe until the spit has dried.
How do you know when it dried?
You better be lucky.
I've never heard that one, but like...
See, I remember that one from, like as a kid, and I don't remember where it came from.
Interesting. Yeah. I've never heard of that. Okay, interesting.
Okay, so that's walking under a ladder. The next one we're going to do, and it's one we've been dealing with for 2 months straight now. What has happened the last 2 months in a row?
Snow.
Friday the...
Oh, like snow.
Yeah,
Friday
it's also
13th.
been snowing. Yes. Okay. So everyone knows this one, right? Accidents, death, disasters said to occur. You don't
But
want.
I love Friday the 13th.
I think it's lucky. I will go with you on that. A lot of people don't plan like weddings or important things on that day, right? Medical staff,
surgeries.
Yep. Hospitals, not the place to be. There's a phobia associated with the fear of Friday the 13th. I'm going to do my best. Paraskevidectriophobia.
I knew that there was one, but I don't know what it's called.
Okay. So the origin of this is actually somewhat like Victorian English.
Okay.
It's a mix of 13 being seen as an unlucky number, as well as the idea that Friday is an unlucky day, which is
I didn't
opposite.
know that.
Right. But back in Victorian times, it was, going back to our first superstition, Hangman's Day.
Oh, we did that on Fridays before the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So we know the unlucky number, right? Like that's why towers, ships, they all skip deck or floor 13. So the Friday thing, that was really Victorian, but the fear of 13 goes like way back before through all cultures.
I can't remember why 13 though.
I literally could spend an entire episode on it.
Okay.
So there's a few
I know
things,
there's a ton
right?
of different.
Yep. So Christians thought it was unlucky because there was 13 people present at the Last Supper.
That's right. Okay.
And then to further expand on that, Christ was crucified on a Friday.
Okay.
There's a ton of research done. A guy named Steve Roud, actually, he's a folklore expert. Love his job title. But he traced like this fear of Friday the 13th back to like, he says 1913 is when it was coined, but it was already like felt before then.
Okay. All right.
But over time, like it stuck, right? And then it gets even stickier when you have franchises and horror movies like Friday the 13th. But I think it's like taking a fear of two things over time, and then you just get this stigma that gets put on it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, I don't believe in this one at all.
I don't know if I don't believe in it. It's just that Friday the 13th to a lot of people is like creepy, scary. And I love the creepy, scary things in the world. And also like a day, like a Halloween day about it. It makes me happy.
Like, I feel like I would get married on Friday the 13th.
Right. But I also think that it's one of those things where, like, I want to own it. I want to take it back. I want to make it, like, a great time.
I wonder how much of this is just correlation and not causation. Because I know, like, we look back and, like, over history, there's hundreds of thousands of bad things that have happened on Friday the 13th. But I feel like if you took any other number...
you're only picking one day
yes,
to look
and
at.
any other, like, day of the week, you would absolutely find way more.
I think Mondays are the worst.
Right? I think Mondays and like the first day of a month. I don't know why. Monday the 1st. That's my new Friday the 13th.
Truly, because the first, like if you work in sales, everything resets.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be scary. Like the first of the month, your rent is due.
So many bills are
like
due.
Everything's due. Like it's a terrible time.
And you and me have been on commission for so long. We're like, oh my God, we have to start over.
Monday the 1st. That is true. Oh, I hate it. Ugh.
Almost as much as you hate when it's raining outside.
I love when it rains.
Okay, so when it rains, do you open your umbrella inside or outside?
What kind of question is that? If it's raining, why would I open it inside?
Because it's super bad luck to open an umbrella inside. Okay, so don't do it. Don't ever do it. because bad things will happen to you.
Why, Zachary?
I don't know why. Okay, you're just doomed for 7 years of bad luck, and that's it.
So there's no explanation?
No, there is. There's a lot of explanation here. Okay. So some people say you're doomed to 7 years of bad luck. Others say somebody is bound to die in your household. Real quick, funny story. I opened up an umbrella inside one time, inside a vehicle that was driving up north. And me and my sister were like, you know, when you like point those like ones, you push the button and they go floop.
And what did Denise do?
Denise did nothing except drive the car. And then the umbrella, when I hit the button, the top of it flew off and smoked Mom while she was driving.
And she didn't do anything?
Oh, no, it was bad luck. Although we all laughed about it for a while. Guess where this one comes from, though?
I don't know.
The Victorians and the Egyptians. Of course, it's a trend at this point. Okay, so the Victorians had umbrellas really similar to today.
Well, they had sun ones, too.
Yeah, they had the parasols. That's actually more Egyptian. Hold on to that. But their umbrellas were the same kind of like spring open. But you know how ours are made out of like nice light aluminum?
Yeah.
Theirs were a little bit more unwieldy, and those metal spokes on it would spring open with a tough spring. They came open with such force that they could take out an eye, smash your mother's favorite vase, or scratch open the household pet.
This actually makes so much sense.
So it's far better to get a little bit wet, and I bet the bad luck part came from parents convincing their kids not to play with them inside because they were going to break shit or pop out an eyeball.
Because I've definitely opened an umbrella inside, especially like when you bought me that Ouija board. Like parasol, like hello. I'm looking at it right now. It's like beautiful. I don't ever really get to open it, and I don't want to use it.
Right.
Like for actual rain. Maybe I should.
Oh, and the raindrops could spell out the letters. You'll get signs.
Maybe I should actually start using it.
There you go.
I just don't want to ruin it.
Well, yeah, you can't because I bought that for you. Okay, the Egyptians, though, they use a type of umbrella not for rain, but protect themselves from the sun. But to protect themselves. I forgot the two in there. So if they use them to protect themselves from the sun, it was seen as a disrespect to the sun god, and then they would get bad luck. I don't know why it has anything to do with opening them inside. Theirs was just literally opening them in general.
Wait, so they couldn't?
Well, here's the thing. There is a caveat here.
Did I miss something?
No. They can't use umbrellas at all, or they.
So why did they even have them? Who made them?
Well, there's the caveat here because poor people would get bad luck. Because if you were royal and rich, they were actually immune from the curse.
Oh, of course. Peasants.
And then there's some other interpretations where like opening an umbrella indoors is seen as a harbinger of death, stemming from the idea that you cover a person in a house with a protective device who has died.
Okay.
So, and you do that during the last rites, right? So if you open it inside, you might be bringing on the death of somebody in your family.
Okay.
So I think this one, though, is really just like, don't break shit.
100%.
100%.
But what I have to say is even now there are some wily umbrellas.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you
Absolutely.
shot Denise while driving. Hey, Zach, are you running low on spiritual supplies?
Hey, Kara, are you looking for a place with handmade items?
Yeah, we should probably go to Mystic Moons.
Oh, our buddies?
Yeah.
They make the most wonderful hand-dipped incense with over 24 scents, and we've smelled absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah, or maybe you might just be looking for a hand-strung bracelet made with only the best intentions.
And not only do they have the best intentions, they have 4 strings each, and they last forever, which I would know because I've broken every bracelet you've made for me and not theirs.
Oops. Well, they also have simmer pots for every occasion, like Sign to Yule.
And don't forget, Melinda is also a medium and a tarot card reader who's given us amazing readings, so she's ready to help us or you connect with past loved ones and get to know insights into your world.
My spirit animal is a camel. Thanks, Melinda. Anyway, so look for Mystic Moons on Facebook or Etsy, and then you can restock all your spiritual supplies.
Oh, be sure to check them out at www.etsy.com/shop/Mystic Moons LLC.
Or at Mystic Moons on Facebook. They're all over our socials, so I'm sure you'll find them.
So go get some goodies. Okay, Kara, goodbye.
Bye.
That's a sound clip right there. You shot Denise while driving. All right. Our next one, Kara. Imagine this.
Okay.
We're sitting at a table.
Okay.
You ask me to pass you the potatoes. And while doing so, my arm overextends a little bit. And next thing you know, I've made a terrible mistake.
Okay.
You see, in handing you those potatoes, I did not realize that the salt shaker was nearby. And I've knocked it over and the salt has been spilled.
Oh, don't spill the salt.
Don't spill the salt. I'm now doomed to an era of bad luck. I'm going to be betrayed by the ones I love and face financial ruin.
But I thought if spilled salt, you put over your left shoulder.
We'll
sorry.
There.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
Ahead. Okay, so let's break down the financial ruin part first, okay? And this is actually based in realism.
Correct.
Do you know why?
Well, I'm assuming because there's no refrigerator, so salt kept everything like I don't know what the word is. So I'm assuming, and salt was probably expensive. Preserved. Yes. Thank you. So you really needed to be cautious about that fucking salt.
Exactly. So it was one of the most valuable spices on the planet for the exact reason you said. And Roman soldiers were actually paid in salt.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
I'm
they got their salaries.
I didn't know this till right now. I'm so smart.
So like if you spilled the salt, like you were actually losing a shit ton of money.
You was gonna die.
Well, you were losing at least financial stability for sure.
Well, you can't eat food, so you'll die.
European traditions, this is where it came down to that if you spilt it, somebody would betray you, but we really don't know where that came from.
Okay.
And then there is the like just bad luck in general, right? So because it was used to preserve meat and prevent starvation and it was essential for survival, poor luck when you spilt it was the devil's doing.
Okay.
Okay. So back to what you were saying. What do you do to reverse the bad luck of the salt?
Throw it over your left shoulder.
Throw it over your left shoulder with your right hand specifically. Yes. Okay. Do you know why? Because the devil lurks on the left side of your body and your guardian angel on the right. You know, like the devil and angel on the shoulder. So you have to blind Satan before he's able to take advantage of your terrible mistake.
That makes sense.
It's spiritual self-defense.
Okay, but why does a devil care if you lost money and salt?
So it was like a you like bring on the
I get it, but like
the bad luck, it just like lets him in. Okay. I don't know.
I'm just asking.
Okay. So let's do an opposite one. This one's still pretty common, but like a good luck one. Tossing coins into a fountain.
Oh, a fountain.
Okay. You were close.
So find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck.
So you get, good luck. You get wishes. Throwing coins in the fountain. Nice Grease reference. It took me a second.
I was waiting. Waiting, baby.
Not just a wish, though. It's an offering.
Offering.
Because Romans believed that wells and springs were inhabited by deities and they were sacred spaces. And when you left offerings, you got healing, protection, and favor.
Makes sense to me. Mermaids, too. All of them.
Mermaids. This goes even into like Celtic culture, though. So they didn't believe that water was just water. It's a threshold. It's a boundary between worlds. It's a liminal space.
But, okay.
Their offerings were like a lot the same, right, as the Romans thought. It's like to appease spirits, to ask for protection, to heal illness, or secure victories over battle. Yeah.
I was just going to add, like, don't we also, like, as, like, investigators, like, water is such an important thing. And when there's, like,
it's so powerful.
Or there's, like, things like it's so powerful.
There's just so much energy behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun fact I found on this. Do you know how much people who have fountains or like organizations who have fountains make? They do go and collect those coins.
Oh, I know.
So, the one that I found made the most money is the Trevi fountain. This is that fountain in Italy that everyone goes to and throws the coin and makes the wish. 2016 was its highest grossing year. How much do you think?
Millions.
1.5 million in 1 year.
Now, where that company just gets to keep that money? That's their profit?
Yeah.
Damn. Could you imagine, though, if that went to, like, a foundation or something?
I think we should build a fountain.
And it go to a foundation?
50-50.
For sure.
Okay, so let's get into the weirder, darker ones. Hey, look at next on our list. Whistling at night.
Cannot.
And before you had your whole spiel at the beginning, you have literally yelled at me for this Appalachian-based folklore before. But honestly, I never looked into why. Okay, so...
Well, I'm pretty sure we talked about it.
We've talked about it a bit, but did you know that it doesn't come from Appalachia originally?
Yeah.
Turkey and Japan. So Japan, whistling at night was said to attract snakes and spirits, and whistling would attract the devil or summon a jinn, which is basically like the evil genie, right? Made of smokeless fire.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, Japan, snakes and spirits. Turkey was the jinn. Over time, though, it travels to the Appalachians, right? Which is where we hear this all the time, where the mountains make their own damn rules. But in the mountains, it's less about inviting something. You're not asking something to come for you like it would be in Japan. It's about what happens after you whistle. And when you hear the whistle repeated back to you, you're basically fucked. Okay.
Yeah, I hate
if it does whistle back, absolutely do not do it again. Do not investigate, because if you heard it, the hunt is already on and the skinwalker is coming for you, or a mimic or a knot deer. All these things we've talked about. They're things that appear human and are just not. Okay. But the problem is if you're close enough to hear it whistle back, you're kind of
too late. But I do have a guide on how.
You do.
I have a guide on how to lose a flesh pedestrian.
There we go.
Say another word again.
I said the word once. It's fine. But the crazy thing is, this is another one that happens over all sorts of cultures, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like rural Japan, rural Turkey. It's always these rural areas. I've said that word 3 times now. I'm not going to say it again.
This is why I don't like it a lot, because it's over so many different cultures and religions. So like, it is like legit. Do you know what I mean?
Why is it? It's always in these places where you live far from help. You're far from the light. You're far from cities. And why do they all develop the same rule?
But here's the thing.
Something is out there for sure.
If you even look it up, like look up, I have goosebumps. I don't like talking about it. If you go look up like Reddit stories or whatever, even if I were to walk outside right now into just like my front yard, it doesn't have to be rule. It just started there, right? Like now it just doesn't matter. You go into your like little woods in the backyard, like, no. Yeah. This is why I do not get down with this one, because it is so many cultures and religions.
Oh yeah.
It's like we talked in the last episode. It's kind of like Hatman. There's so many different religions and cultures that have their version of it. How is it not real?
It has, different continents, different religions, all have the same warning. And
jinn really freaked me out.
Oh, for sure, dude. But go out at night, decide to make yourself known. You ain't controlling who hears you. So far, I'm with you. This is the only superstition on the list that like really rings true. Yeah. At least with me.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Ever.
Okay, so our next one. You've talked about mirrors quite a bit.
I want to redo my mirror episode, and I don't want to redo it. I just want to re-record it. I loved it.
We'll get into like, because we know the broken mirrors are bad luck. Everyone knows about that. You get 7 years bad luck, whatever. But did you know you're also just not supposed to look in any mirror at night?
Yeah.
Bad news for me. I have a mirror at the end of my bed.
I have a mirror right in front of me as I record.
Yeah, we're screwed.
But at the end of your bed is so bad.
I know.
And I've talked about this.
I know. I have to get rid of it. So we did talk about this, though, in episode 3. That's the one Kara wants to redo if you want to go back to it. Again, though, this goes back to the thought that mirrors held souls, right? Another Victorian thing. They come up a lot in superstitions.
Yes.
And they were typically covered after death, right? So the spirit wouldn't get trapped. We've talked about that before, too. But across cultures, night is a liminal space, right? It's a threshold. It's much like how the Celts saw water, right? When we were talking about the fountains. Then you add in a mirror, which is also this like threshold between worlds. So at night, you get this double liminal thing.
Yeah.
Going on. So looking into a mirror at night, a portal might open between you and your reflection. So imagine you're looking into the mirror. The reflection lags just a second, just a millisecond. And you go, what was that? Proving to you that you're not seeing what you thought was you, but another you trying to get through, maybe trade spaces, maybe let in some evil. Just don't look at your face at night, Kara. I can wait till the morning, okay?
Okay. But also it's 7 years bad luck if you break that mirror, because
If you break it. Yeah. So don't break it either.
Right. But also it's the 7. We're going to get into the breaking.
No, we're not talking about breaking at all. That one's overdone.
Yeah, it is. But also, like, you can go in depth in my episode. But basically, it's like your body, like your soul, everything is supposed to like kind of like regenerate, recreate itself every 7 years. That's where that 7 years of bad luck comes in.
Here's the thing, though, is I don't think looking into it is that deep. And it's going to tie back even to like the witching hour episode we talked about.
No, I agree with you.
The house is quiet at night. Your thoughts are louder. You're more vulnerable, right? So looking into a mirror just becomes more introspective. It
becomes more of you like zoning, and mirrors are goosies. Mirrors are all I can see myself is in the mirror ahead of me. Mirrors are such a wild thing.
Well, they're like a portal-like object.
They feel interdimensional or portal-esque. Yep. And so it is one of those things. And if you go back to that episode, maybe I'll just re-record it for Patreon. But it is one of those things where if you just zone out at a mirror, it is wild the things that you do see and that you feel about yourself. So it is the same thing as the witching hour. It's just because you're silent, you're wherewithal of yourself, like 100%. You as a being. Like it's actually really incredible.
I think this is less of like a eerie, spooky thing, but it's a time when light is low.
Unknown. Right? It was unknown.
Everything is a little bit distorted, and it becomes this perfect breeding ground for fear and this belief that, we shouldn't look into it because like now I'm thinking deeply or whatever.
100%.
I think the superstition formed because people generally saw things or genuinely saw things, but I don't think it's ghosts. It's just distortions their brain couldn't explain.
Well,
and when multiple people see it, it just goes into folklore.
Oh, ding dong. What is it called when we stare into a mirror?
Scrying.
Scrying. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it just puts you into like a different state.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one I had never heard of. The third match is death. Have you heard this?
No. So like in a matchbook, the third one is death?
The third to light off the same match.
Wait, say that to me again.
The third person to light a cigarette off the same match. The third match is death. Okay. So this has its origins in the trenches of World War I.
Okay.
Not a fun time. Okay. You're spending your whole day partially underground. Your feet are rotting from being soaked. Above, mortars are raining down on you. And if you pop your head up too long, well, the enemy finds you. Okay. Like, dude, the trench warfare seems like the absolute most incredibly worst time of all of history.
Feet rotting.
Yeah, because they're soaked.
It's the most disturbing thing I've ever
100%. Okay, so this is happening to you as a World War I soldier every day, every night. And I bet about the only thing that would bring you any sort of relief at that time is a goddamn cigarette.
Okay, yes.
So you and your buddies gather around and you go to share a match to light one. And after much trial and error, they found it was bad luck to share the same match with 3 soldiers.
Okay.
Because the first one lit the cigarette, right? That would alert the enemy. There's a bright flash. The second one would allow the enemy to take aim. And the third one who lit off of it, well, lights out for our unlucky bastard. So the perfect number seemed to be 2. But when they would return from war, right, they didn't leave the omen behind. So soldiers would come home. They'd still believe it was bad luck for 3 people to light off of one match. So it was no more than 2. And then it spread to the general public in pop culture and movies and novels. And like,
I don't know. I've never heard of this.
I had never heard of it before either. Apparently it is in like some Quentin Tarantino films, which makes sense. And like other stuff. But yeah, it's unlucky for 3 people to use the same match to light their cigarettes.
Okay.
Now, that one I think is one of those ones that's founded in real fear, right? But then just kind of took over to pop culture. Okay. Our last one, I think you're going to like.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the fetch?
That is so fetch.
So fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Kara. So it's really similar to a doppelganger.
Ugh.
Spectral version of a living person. So like, you know, the whole, I saw your twin today trope.
I don't like when I hear that.
Yeah, well, there's reason for that, okay?
So yeah, because a doppelganger.
We're not going to go through the German lens of the doppelganger. We're going through Irish folklore, and they call the same type of phenomenon the fetch. an old Irish tale is that a doctor's wife was roused in the dead of night, and she saw her husband's exact image standing by the window. So even as the real doctor slept behind her, right, she's like looking at him.
No, I thought you said aroused.
She was aroused.
She was aroused
by her husband's fetch. So this visitor, right, silently read a book, and she looked again, and he was gone. So by the morning,
he read a book to her, or he was just reading a book.
The one standing by the window is reading a book. She looks back at her sleeping husband, looks back, he's gone.
Okay.
By the morning, the doctor had died of a burst blood vessel in his lungs, and in grief, the wife screamed out, "The fetch, the fetch."
What does fetch mean?
I am not entirely sure.
I don't even know why Gretchen says fetch.
She was saying double.
That's so fetch. Now that I've thought about that, I don't even know what that means.
It means nothing. And in this story too. Similar to doppelgangers, right? But in the version of the fetch, it can't be seen by the person it's copying. It can only be seen by others. And the meaning of the superstition depends on when it's seen.
Okay.
So here's the superstitions with it. If you've seen it at night, is a foretelling of the death of the person it's twinning with. Right? So if you saw me, the fetch version of myself, while you also saw the real version, I'm going to die. But at night. If you see it at dawn, it's the exact opposite. It's actually a sign that that person is going to live for a very long time.
Okay.
And then if you see them during day, normal daytime hours, it's a warning for you to let that person know they need to watch out for something.
Okay.
So it's not a ghost imitating. It's not a spectral being who's taking on the form. In this, it's a quick glimpse of somebody's soul who's left their body. Their body has separated. The soul is out there, and it's trying to give a warning to their loved ones.
Okay. I had to look up what fetch meant, just like in English. So obviously, go for and then bring back.
Yep.
Which, okay. And then achieve when sold.
What?
Hand-woven blankets and rugs that can fetch us much as 40.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I still don't know why Gretchen says that's so fetch.
I don't know either.
I've never thought about it until this moment, and now it's bugging me.
Well, maybe there's a superstition around that.
Listen here, Gretchen Wieners.
Gretchen Wieners. Okay, back to it. Gaelic traditions where this came from. So a life force, this kind of goes back to your whole thing too with the astral projection. A life force animates the body.
Okay.
And then there's the dream of the wandering soul that could travel while you're asleep or when you're not fully with it. So the wandering soul, your own wandering soul, could appear elsewhere, sometimes accidentally, sometimes as a warning. But it comes from the belief that your soul can leave your body before death like a messenger.
Okay.
So with that, superstitions exist because we crave control. Fear fills gaps in our knowledge, and small rituals reduce anxiety.
Do they? Well, yeah, I guess rituals reduce anxiety, but some of these things bring on my anxiety.
But it's the ritual of not doing the thing. It's the ritual of avoiding the ladder, of not stepping on the crack, of walking the other way of the cat, right? All these little tiny rituals.
Yeah, I know. So out of all of these, I think we've already talked about it. The main one that I'm going to abide by, as I always do, is not whistling at night.
Fair. That's the only one that really sticks out to me. But I have a shop closing question for you.
Oh, I love it.
Would you consider yourself superstitious or just a little stitious?
Just a little stitious.
Sorry, terrible dad joke, but I had to throw it in there.
Okay, Mark.
Okay. So here's what we want from you guys. What superstitions do you follow? What superstitions do you think are bullshit? And what's the one you'll never, ever do?
Should we cover more?
We could cover more.
Because no.
I mean, there's so many more, but
step on a crag, break your brother's your mother's back.
Mother, yeah, not brother. There's tons and tons more, but we just had to pick some fun ones. But yeah, that's it on my superstition deep dive for you.
So do you have a Reddit story for our Patreons?
Of course I have Reddit for our Patreon.
Okay, so if you're a Patreon subscriber, head there. If you're not, you can come join us. It's a great time.
Or if you don't want to join us, spend the time you would have spent joining us to write in or call in your stories. Leave a little review. And what's the most important thing these oddballs need to do before we close up the shop for the day?
Creep it real, my little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.